it's just one step uh, further, you know. Well, I mean, it's just there's just one little step between Spanish and French, because of their similar roots, their Latin roots. So don't be scared to learn, to start to learn bonsoir literally means good evening. So it's the same thing as in English, except in English you would say good morning instead of good day when you meet someone during the day. But it's the same when you say good evening, bonsoir. So bonjour, bonsoir. With that, you're already engaged in a conversation. Then usually what you would say in any language when you start talking to someone is, how are you? How you doing? And that in French is super simple. You would say ça va. And that is like right now I'm teaching you the like the French that is generally spoken. I'm not teaching you the French you will read in the book because it would be a little bit more formal. I'm really teaching you a conversational French, you know. I'm not sure conversational is an actual word in English. Maybe I just made that up, I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments if it's an actual word, because I'm not sure. So anyway, ça va is the expression you will automatically say when you meet someone in France. Bonjour, ça va? Or more literally, it would be comment ça va? How do you do? How are you? But when you speak French, when you're in a conversation, you go faster and you go ça va? Question mark. Ça va. It literally means it goes. So it stands for it goes well. Does it go well? You know what I mean? Va means goes. Ça means it. It goes. Yeah, I know. It's a little weird, a little different, but ça va is very easy to remember. Those two words are short. Very, very easy to remember. Bonjour, ça va? If you're asked this question, you can answer positively. Yes, I'm fine. Oui, ça va. Or, no, I'm not fine. Non, ça ne va pas. We're just gonna learn. Yes, I'm fine for today because I'm assuming you're fine all the time. I hope you are. So you would say oui. You all know that oui means yes, of course. Oui. O-U-I. Ça va. Dot. Bonjour, ça va? Oui, ça va. Merci. Thank you. Et toi? And you? Okay. In French, there's something that is a little bit difficult for English speakers to master, and it's the two different you that exist in the language. was just some quick precision. But like I said, today we're just gonna learn about I, je. Now that you can say hello, how are you? I'm fine. We're gonna learn other phrases with I, je. 20